Hola, buenos dias, buenos noches, una lapdown podcasto. Can you tell that I am doing Duolingo Spanish at the minute? I'm up to level 2, people and places. Hello, I'm a people, that's a person, and the place that you're at is the Lapdown Podcast. Dan, hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm impressed. I don't know Spanish, so I cannot confirm whether you did actually say words or whether you just kind of made some noises in a Spanish accent. So we'll roll with it. If anybody's listening and they are from the Spanish neck of the woods, if you would like to confirm what Alex said, that would be fantastic. But I'm well. I hope you're well. I hope everybody watching and listening is well. If you're excited for the Mexico Grand Prix and you're enjoying the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop us a like on this video. Leave us a review on your audio thing. The community is growing and we would love you to be part of it. And if you'd like to email us as well, your thoughts. I don't know what the email address is. I think it's lapdownpod@gmail.com.
That's the one.
That feels like it should be the one. But we're here and we've got another Grand Prix to talk about. We haven't got much news because not much happens, but we've got a weekend.
Yeah, this is one of those short turnaround weeks where either everything in the world seems to happen or nothing happens. And we are in a very low excitement week because I think we're leaving it all for the weekend, because this weekend feels like this could be make or break in the whole Drivers' Championship chase. Because if we have another big swing weekend, it's going to be game over. There's if that gap gets too close and we're nibbling on heels, I think both of them completely crumble. But also, it could be a cold water kind of weekend where if McLaren do buck that trend, they've had some stinkers recently. If they can just go back to having a good, solid weekend, an orange car wins and a navy car is second or third, there's a potential for some simmer. But, hey, who knows? I quite like Mexico as a track. There's a fair bit going on.
Yeah, it's susceptible to kerfuffles, isn't it? As we've seen in the past. Lap
Heavy
one,
kerfuffle
turn
track.
ones, lap one, turn threes, lap one, wherever those high-speed wiggly bits are, and the stadium bit. There are opportunities for incidents, which is good. And as you said, with this championship battle now, with 5 weekends to go, yes, there's a couple of sprinty McSprint faces to go as well. You're getting big swings, aren't you? They're big chunks and big percentages coming out. I did see something, and I did record something about it, but I'll mention it for the sake of it. According to Bet365, which is a bookmakers available in the UK, whether it is around the rest of the world or not, I don't know, but I'm sure other bookmakers are available. Max Verstappen is now the bookies' favourite to win the World Championship. He's still 40 points behind Oscar Piastri, which best case scenario is a week and a half worth of Grand Prix racing, isn't it? And he is the bookies' favourite to win. They've written off those 40 points. They're gone. They don't mean anything now. They are that kind of... and I don't know whether I believe them. I don't believe them. But yeah. I just have a horrible feeling that McLaren are going to cock it up for themselves. They are sooner or later... And I think possibly, similar to last year with Hungary, the ship might have already sailed, that they potentially needed to have that horrible conversation and just pick one. Just upset one half of the team and the fan base and just go, this is what we have to do. Because otherwise, as I agree with you, if there is another chunk taken out of it, I don't think McLaren have got the bottle in order to fight back.
No, they definitely don't. Yeah, the bookies thing is interesting because I did check that the other day, and I think depending on which of the bookies you look at, it's either Piastri or Verstappen, and they are essentially the same odds, but for the sake of not putting the same odds, they either flick it, it's like 6-7 or like 5-7 or something. It's sort of done that way. I don't believe it either, not yet, and a lot of people in the other comments of us saying that we don't think he'll do it, I think are misunderstanding possibly both of our points and thinking that that's us saying we don't think he can do it or that we don't want him to do it. It's not that at all. It makes no difference on my life who wins this whatsoever. I just don't think it's going to happen. That's how predictions work. I have to make one way or the other. I said it in the last episode, it's going to be so good if we go with less than 8 points between any of them. Get George Russell in there. Why not? Jorge, get yourself back in the mix. Actually, is he gone or is it no? Charles gone now. We're down to
Charles
4.
gone. George is still mathematically possible.
Yeah, I pondered whether bookies are very clever, right? They're smart. They're smart peeps, and I wonder
many
if
poor
they.
ones, do you?
What was that? Sorry.
You don't. I say you don't meet many poor ones.
No, and the ones that are poor don't tend to exist for too long. Much like a Trump casino. But I wonder a little bit whether they are trying to cash in on a little bit of non-Formula One fan hype or some non-gambling Formula One fan hype and going, all of a sudden, I think there's going to be some eyes on markets. And if people see that Verstappen, we think Verstappen's the favourite, they're more likely to put a little punt down on that now. He's not going to win, so we'll just take their money off him. I wonder if there's, an element of that in play. But the bookies having him as favourite now slightly throws your 2% that you throw in. The damn bookies and their 2%. Quite different to everyone else.
The thing is he still shouldn't do it.
Correct.
I genuinely don't think he should do it, and I agree with you. That's not a case of me saying I don't want him to. It's not a case of me going, I will be heartbroken, my life will be over if it isn't Oscar Orlando. That isn't the case at all. But he shouldn't be able to do it from this stage. He absolutely could, and I'd be significantly less shocked now if he did it than what I was at Singapore. But from what's unfolded over the last 3 weekends with the Singapore start, the Austin sprint, then the retirements for Piastri and the absolute flop of a race Azerbaijan for Norris, they're dropping the bag big time. And that door is the door that might have been ever so slightly ajar there. Has now got a steaming Dutchman running through it head first like an NFL running back.
Yeah.
And just tearing absolute bits out of it. And it wouldn't surprise me. And I think the logic and history would say and suggest that actually Max goes ahead and wins this weekend. So it becomes down to a bit of a McLaren have to finish P2 and P3 and possibly have to make sure that Oscar finishes P2.
And we don't necessarily want to... It's tricky because it feels like an evolving conversation, then you also feel like you're sort of going over old ground and repeating yourselves and whatnot. I suppose that's what we do as podcasters anyway. But the thing that possibly is lost on a few people, I think, is how bad the last few weekends have been for McLaren, in that they are outlier weekends, and if you're a statistician, they're the kind of weekends that you actually disregard from your analysis, because this has not been Verstappen taking chunks out on merit, which is nothing against Verstappen, and before all the Dutchies come at me, whatever. But this is collisions, DNFs, this is cars being airborne into their teammate, like it could have been anyone else that might have been on the outside there. That this isn't Max clawing away at McLaren's performing at the level that they should be, and that 95 races out of 100 they will be. What we've had is the 5 races where something happens have occurred sequentially, and that has really changed the numbers really quickly. These things happen. It's entirely possible that Max is airborne this weekend and goes into the side of, whoever. So these things can happen. But...
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. Something could happen this weekend dramatically again.
Here's my question for you. The gap is 40 points. Do McLaren now favour a driver?
No.
Okay. Max wins. Max wins Mexico. Oscar finishes second. The gap is now 38 points. Do McLaren favour a driver?
No, because it's Oscar.
Okay. Okay, fine. So Max wins Brazil. The gap is now 24 points. Do McLaren favour a driver?
I don't think until they get to Abu Dhabi and the numbers have blown out that I don't think they will make that decision themselves. They will support that decision when they get to a point where the decision is, for all intents and purposes, made for them. I just don't think... I also don't think they can. And this is... We've touched on this, but they've got 2 very marketable... high-energy fan-based drivers that are very evenly matched in skill, points, marketing dollars. This is not. There's no narrative that you can spin that makes picking one or the other okay, I don't think, and that's where they struggle. And they're suffering from success with it. That it's a wonderful position to be in, that you have got two incredibly good number one drivers and all of that. But I just don't think they can, and I don't think they will, because I think if they were going to, they would have picked one by now. And we're going to come on to the repercussion stuff in a second, but we had a coming together of banging of wheels that led to repercussions within the team that have now been dropped. So they're not that serious about even balancing the books, because by all accounts, for one weekend, Oscar got to choose whether he went out first or second or got service first or second, and now they've gone, oh yeah, that'll do, even though they said that was going to be till the end of the year. So I don't even think they know what day it is at McLaren at the minute. I think they are flapping that hard that they could probably fight against their own wind tunnel, and they're not in a position to make smart, decisive moves, I don't think. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. The logical person in me says that they have to, because otherwise I think it comes back with egg on their face by the time you get around to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
I don't see McLaren just tripping over one another again for the next 5 weekends, and we're going to get another DNF, and we're going to get another 8th place finish, and we're going to get another sprint race cock up. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see it, like you said, with the statistician side of things. So therefore, and we're talking best case scenario, if we're talking 8-point chunks or 7-point chunks per weekend, because it's 25 to 18, isn't it? So 7-point chunks, then mathematically they would still be leading by the time Abu Dhabi comes around, albeit would be significantly closer if Max were to win from now through to Abu Dhabi and Oscar were to finish second from now to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is where the issue is, because that 7 points suddenly then turns into 10 points if those cars are the other way around, or worse, and those denominations of points become bigger and more stressful. I suppose the thing is well, that's the other thing. I mean, does Max go on and win everything from now? That's another thing that we can't really quantify. It's I don't know. It's brilliant. It's fascinating. Yes. It's amazing. It's exactly what we wanted. It's what we wanted at the start of this year when we were told that 2026 was going to be an absolute rip snorter of a year, because all of the teams were the same and we were going to have this incredible championship battle. Yes, Mercedes aren't there now. No, Ferrari aren't there now. But we have got an incredible championship battle, which is exactly what we were promised. Exactly.
And it's what we wanted. And this weekend, it feels like a scary weekend if you've got a horse in the race. I think there's a lot. I mean, Mexico has come at a tremendous time for us to have this like absolute knife edge battle, though, because Mexico lap 1 turn 1 has got to be up there with the Hunger Games of lap 1 turn 1 option. It's kind of lap 1 sector 1 as well, because you can it can carry on a little bit, can't it? There's a lot of elbows out stuff through there, but I mean, you can just see it now, 4 wide going. Like we're gonna have bloody Max, Lando, and Oscar 3 wide trying to go into turn 1 on lap 1, aren't we? Like, and it's just, I mean, they're all gonna have their elbows out, rubbing each other's elbows. Someone's coming out of that with a bloody elbow and crying.
Yeah, who's going to be bravest? That's going to be the big thing. Who's got the most to lose?
No. I'll tell you the answer. It's always going to be Max.
Well, yeah, no, I know that, but I mean, we can't call him out, because otherwise we get told off. Anyway, so we know that that's going to be tough. And the other thing as well is those battles, because of the ridiculous length of that straight, and then obviously that length of the straight into that second kind of wiggly bit in the end of sector 1 as well, those battles just keep going, don't they? You always get kind of, oh, well, they just bumped into my side pod because he shut the door, he's turned into me, and we get all of those brilliant radio messages. Yeah. It could and probably will be an absolute clusterfuck of a T1, lap 1 T1. Yeah. And who knows who is going to come out of it with any form of wheels attached to their wagons.
What's going to be interesting, I think, is we've heard all year and seen quite notably, McLaren and DRS have never been particularly powerful. And I think they've said themselves, just the way our rear wing works, it's just not particularly favourable for getting a big push down the road from DRS. Mexico is such a DRS kind of circuit. with how long that straight is, that you get out of that last corner well, line it up, open your rear wing, and you should, be able to sneak through.
Oh, it's one of those DRS zones that Crofty jizzes himself as the move's completed like 3 miles before the corner, isn't it?
But I just worry, if I'm in Papaya, that if they're ahead and you've got someone like a Max behind with his wing open, he's a great chance to get by you. And then if you're then behind, I don't know how easily you shoot straight by him again on the next lap if your DRS advantage is less. So I think they both... Quali is going to be very, very important this weekend, I think, because I don't think if Max starts ahead of those two McLarens, at any point do they get back in front without something cocking up on a strategy or an extra element coming involved. I think on raw pace, it's unlikely they get ahead. If they both start in front of him, I think he probably stays behind both of them. If he splits two McLarens, I think he's probably leading by the end of lap 1 with the way that we know he will race. And again, not a criticism. We literally see the videos of how he races. He's going to push one of them off the track and go from there. So, yeah, I could see, I think you said it earlier, I could see a situation where Max wins again this weekend and takes another chunk out, potentially. Oh boy.
Gets a bit spicy, doesn't it, going into... I mean, because Brazil's a little bit of a naughty circuit, isn't it, as well, with those kind of dive bombs and starts into turn 1 there, down the hill, and then...
all the massive turn 1 hairpins in a row, haven't they?
And then what's the next one? Like, the next, like, Primo di Lago or something, isn't it, down the bottom of that straight, and then you get those bits where you got that massive tarmac runoff area and people are just dive bombing the shit out of each other. It's going to be good. Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. You mentioned repercussions. Obviously, those that haven't noticed, Lando drove into the side of Oscar in Singapore. Oscar drove into the side of Lando at Austin. There was repercussions after Singapore because Lando had been naughty. Then Oscar did the eye for the eye thing and at Austin, and then they decided that that's fair cop. And I think it probably is fair cop, to be fair. One cocked up in one place, the other one cocked up in the other. Yes, they both had detrimental impacts to both of their Grand Prix and their World Championship battles. And by all accounts, they're now back to level par.
Yeah, I'm not sure really how drastic those repercussions were in the first place. I think McLaren needs to shut up more often than they do. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's Papaya
I think,
rules.
Was it Zach that dropped that there would be repercussions initially? Like, he just slid that into an interview. And it's like, just, if you're going to do it, fine. Stop telling everyone everything, because then... it's getting talked about. Maybe they want to have it talked about. Maybe that's what they do it deliberately for. But just stop talking. Just say less.
Hear me out. Have we misread Papaya rules?
Oh, here we go.
I've just a thought. Like, obviously, like these teams and these drivers are brands now. So what if Papaya Rules is actually some form of Y2K, like, graffiti style thing that you would see on the top of a bridge or a subway station? And actually, when McLaren win the Drivers' Championship, all Papaya Rules is actually going to be, and all it's ever been built for, is all of their World Championship merch. Because, like, back in 2001 or 1998, Papaya Rules.
Okay.
Hey, look. Look,
we all thought rules meant rules as in guidelines, but rules meant no, totally radical, fully sick.
It's spelt with a Z.
Papaya rules. It's spelt with a Z.
Rules.
Okay, what? He could be onto something.
Hear me out. Watch this space.
Wow. Hey, do you want the most exciting update?
Do I?
There's more tape developments, which is what we all watch Formula One for, is the battle of the stationery. And we've got more tape developments because he doesn't even care about the tape anyway, Dan. Apart from the fact that he doesn't care about the tape so much that they made specific tape that can't be untaped so that the tape is still taping. But he doesn't care about the tape and he doesn't need it and he doesn't use it. But please don't take it off because I need the tape.
I love the fact that Formula One drivers are on multi-million pound contracts. It's going to cost you hundreds of millions of pounds to build a Formula One car. It's going to cost you hundreds of millions of pounds to compete in this thing. And we've got two of the most the two most successful teams in 2025 going hammer and tong at each other. And they're both pissing themselves about a bit of sellotape stuck on the wall.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, if you needed more proof that F1 is actually just a bunch of lads dicking about, lads and lasses dicking about, like, there it is. The fact that we've got to the point now where they're using tape like that warranty tape that when you peel it off, it still leaves residue behind. And then they're writing on the wall under the tape, better luck next time, so that when you try and take the tape off, lads, come on. What I will say, we asked last week, did McLaren stop car development too early? I'm now going to ask, was it the right move for McLaren to shift engineering time from car development to tape development? Because perhaps that would have been better served on the rear wing or a bit of front suspension business or a little bit of floor action. Yeah, I mean, do we need to be impregnating tape with non-removable residues or whatever the technical description they gave it was? But I mean, yeah, I kind of like it, to be fair.
We are one spitball fired from a straw to the back of somebody's head away from one of the McLarens competing in the Sao Paulo Brazilian Grand Prix with a massive penis drawn on the side of the front on the nose cone. That's how close we are to absolute childish shithousery here. This is playground stuff in what's supposed to be the most high-end, high-tech, high-expense, ridiculous form of sport, not motorsport, sport in the world. And we are fiddling about with different types of sellotape and putting tiny little bits of Sharpie underneath it. And I'm here for it, to be honest with you. And I, for one, I'd be keen. I'd be keen to see a McLaren with a big willy drawn on the front of the nose cone.
Why not? Why not?
Who gets detention though? Because that's how. Yeah, all right, fine. He's already got it. He drives for Alpine.
He's having a stinker of a year already. We might as well just stick him in.
Permanent detention.
There has been potentially some detention though. We're good enough segue on this podcast. Ooh. We've got cost cap breaches again, everyone, because we can't possibly have a year of Formula One since the cost cap came in where there aren't breaches of the cost cap. It's almost like the cost cap doesn't mean anything. But two teams apparently breached the cost cap in 2024. We know Aston Martin was one of them, although theirs was more procedural because I feel like we've had a procedural cost cap breach every year. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to ask why the teams aren't just maybe starting a week earlier on filling out the paperwork so that we don't get another Aston Martin situation where I believe their accountant just signed a completed form too late. It wasn't that they hadn't done it, they just hadn't ticked it off to say we've done it until afterwards. It's like, I mean, come on now.
Thing is as well, these little like minor breaches, they're quite expensive. We're going back to sellotape gate, removing a piece of sellotape from a piece of wall, and I know that wasn't the reason, but that was £50,000. When you look back at what Red Bull got penalised for what I think they was described as so this is it. Red Bull finally handed punishment for minor cost cap breach ahead of Mexico City Grand Prix, with a 10% reduction in wind tunnel time being the most damaged, and they were 2.2 million over, so they were fined $7 million on top of it. These minor breaches are quite expensive, and whoever that person is that works in the accounts departments for Aston Martin, first of all, I mean, good luck finding another job at the minute, because the competition, the market's not exactly favourable, I don't think, in the UK. And yeah, but then again, what punishment do they get? Because I mean, if you're late filling in a form and you get fined, say, 7 million, you get a reduction in wind tunnel time, you'd have been better off just spending 2.2 million over your cost cap, wouldn't you?
Well, at what point do you just game the system, I guess? It's the... George Russell talked about it a little bit, didn't he? Of like, just take the penalty and then piss off 5 seconds down the road, and it's a net gain still. Yeah. I dare say at some point there will come a tipping point of the returns on it, and we don't know who this team that apparently breached it in a more dramatic way is. I would love for it to be Alpine, that they'd somehow fucked it and still managed to be back at the grid. I can't help but feel like it's not a front-running team, and it's... I think if it was a McLaren or a Ferrari or a Red Bull, I think we would have heard rumours of it being a McLaren, a Ferrari, or a Red Bull to come out with it. I think, because that would feel slightly more scandalous. But yeah, just spend a little bit less, lads. Keep your eye on it. Come on. Are you a cost cap fan? Are you pro cost cap?
If I'm completely honest with you, I don't actually think it's improved the sport.
Yeah.
I don't think it's done what it's designed to do. It's not bunched the pack up, has it? We don't get a Haas victory at Silverstone because everybody's working to the same cost cap. We don't get an Alpine on pole because the cost cap has come in. The boys at the top are still the boys at the top. Yes, I suppose Williams have improved under this kind of cost cap era, but there has to be a punishment for it, because otherwise what's the point in having the rule? Yeah. And yes, fine, you could turn around and say, oh yeah, well it's negligible because all it was, they were under the cost cap or within the cost cap, but they were just late submitting the form. Yeah. But if you can't fill the form in by a particular date, everything there is set in stone. And these forms, they're not asked, and I'm sure they're going to be more than just like yes, I was inside the top cost cap, tick, signed Mr. Aston Martin, send it off in the post. These are going to be things much like your tax return, where you're going to be getting emails and text messages and everything like that 18 months in advance of going, it's time to fill out your form. Don't forget to fill your form out.
Yeah.
You've now only got 17 months to fill your form out. Don't forget to fill your form. They're going to know that's there. They failed to do that, and there has to be a form of punishment, because otherwise what's the point in having those rules and things in place?
Yeah. If I get fined £7 million for a cost cap breach in 24, does that come out of my cost cap pool? Like, do fines come under the cost cap? Because then that spirals at that point. If you're getting fined for going over the cost cap and that fine comes out of your cost cap for the next year, then there'll
probably be some rule in place to say that any kind of fines and penalties don't form part of the cost cap allowance, which again seems silly, because surely that is part of the day-to-day running of a Formula One team.
Yeah, if you fuck about with tape on the wall and go where you shouldn't have, that 50 grand's going to come out of your cost cap, surely.
I would have thought so. I would have thought so. But who knows? Who knows? Right.
Should we pick some drivers for this weekend?
I think we should. It's getting close now. There's 8 points between the two of us. 210 points to 202 in terms of our Constructors' Championship battle. I don't know where would that put us in the...
I don't think high. I think McLaren have got like 600 points or something.
Yeah, no, we're not there. We'd be fifth.
Okay.
We'd be ahead of the Williams.
Yeah.
Significantly ahead of the Williams as well.
I'll take that.
Good for us.
Right, I think you're up first this week, aren't you?
I think I am, yeah. No cost cap breaches in this World Championship either.
What have we got? For Danny Jads. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts.
Good, is it?
That hurts. It's Max Verstappen. It was...
See, I'm looking at this on quite a small screen, so I assume that was either Franco Colapinto or Pierre Gasly. But I am delighted that is Max Verstappen.
Yeah, it's ticked over by a millimetre.
See, that's why I was disappointed.
Yeah,
love to see. I've always loved Max Verstappen. I would be thrilled if he goes ahead and wins this weekend's Grand Prix. Just a shame there's no sprint.
That was a concerning outcome for me when you're already the championship leader. Keep going to George Russell. Okay, I can counter you with a George Russell, I think.
That's not bad.
At least I know I've got a P3 locked in.
Yeah, you're kind of P2, 3, 4, and 5, aren't you?
We're two proper drivers to get going, at least.
Yeah.
Hot. So that's okay. I feel like I've countered your punch there a little bit. That's not bad.
Property.
You're going all Red Bull. Oh, you are. You're going a Red Bull double bubble.
Okay. I mean,
double bubble.
It's not Max Verstappen, but the car's still quick, and Yuki has got some points over the last couple of weekends. So
yeah,
I don't hate it.
You'd like double points out of that, surely.
Yeah, it's not a Franco Colapinto.
No, you've got two, in theory, front runners. I'm seeing yellow and I'm seeing Lance Stroll in the middle. Don't you dare do it.
Keep going. Yes!
Oh, now that bloody hurts, I tell you. There's Lance Stroll in the middle of two papaya wedges, and I've landed aggressively on the stroll.
Lance Strollolio.
That's a concern.
Good from you, though. But, how much will their performance be enhanced by their cost cap breach?
I don't think it's going to put him in the points, Dan. I certainly don't think it's putting him on papaya points. That is unfortunate. What's happened there? That's unfortunate. I think you might extend a lead slightly this weekend, unless Max gets caught up in lap 1, sector 1 business.
Well, this is the thing, because if there is any kind of kerfuffling between Max and the McLarens, you are basically guaranteed to win the Grand Prix.
With
That's how this works.
With Lance Stroll, you mean?
Close with Jorge.
Okay. Right, Dan. On the internet, they'll find you where?
Dan Jads or Dan Jads' Cricket Club on YouTube if you'd like to hang out over there. I've got a very exciting day planned. I've got a 3,000 piece model of the oval that I need to build after going to get a haircut, which I feel by the end of it, I might be struggling slightly. How about yourself? So what's going on?
If you'd like to watch me play games, twitch.tv/hey look it's Alex, you can come and do that on there. You can go Lapdown Pod on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok if you want to watch stuff there. And lapdownpod@gmail.com. We said it at the start. Hit like, subscribe, and comment, and do all of those nice things for us because they help. Leave a review if you're listening to this on an actual podcast app because that makes a difference. And we'll see what happens. It's a nervy weekend, but we'll see what happens come the other side of it. And we will see you all next week. Toodle pip.
Boom.